guaranteed. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Spooky Chat.
Spooky chat time.
Cars of the Macabre, or as we have been called before, Cars and the Caber.
Oh, I miss Spence.
I know I do as well. So has anything weird and or spooky happened to you this week?
No, I did get bitten by a dog again though.
You did.
This
yes.
time on my leg. I was on a pack walk and we were at the dog park and there was 18 of them and they get a bit rowdy when the ball's involved, and of course in a dog park you find loads of balls. Mm-hmm. So the lady that I walk with was like, I'll just put it over the fence, and she kind of got their attention, but like a load of them sort of still came over towards me. So I put it over the fence, and then as I've gone to walk away, there's quite a few dogs around me, and then one of them, who's absolutely lovely, I always get cuddles from him, kind of got under my feet a little bit, and I trod on him, and his reaction is kind of, rather than to cower or get fearful, he sort of not attacks but goes for you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And he kind of got my leg. So it was just an accident.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the second time since August I've been bitten.
Yeah.
Thankfully this time not on my face.
Yeah, exactly. You're mixing it up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
I've been having crazy dreams, which in my stars it has been saying that everyone apparently at the minute is having crazy dreams. And last night, honestly, it was absolutely bonkers. I dreamt that I was at a party and Noel Gallagher was there, obviously, and he then invited me to another party, but he said I had to dress as a pirate.
I mean, that's a fun party.
Yeah, and then I was driving a black 1965 Mustang, and I drove it to this other party, but there were loads going on, and I couldn't find the right party where Noel Gallagher was, so I couldn't find him, which was really, really annoying. Then someone stole my black trainers, but they were like New Balance, which I haven't worn for years, and they were all black, and someone stole them. And then I was somewhere else, and Dave Grohl was there, and he was doing an interview to some news thing, but he was naked. It was so weird. And your dreams are supposed to mean something. What that is supposed to mean,
I have no idea.
I have no idea. And I hadn't been watching anything with Dave Grohl. I hadn't even listened to any of his music, so I don't know where he came from. Obviously, Noel Gallagher's always on my mind. But yeah, it was just a bit bonkers. I'm one of those people that tells other people their dreams and the other person doesn't care.
No, I care.
But we're in the Pointless Story Club of
That's
those.
true.
So.
There is only two of us.
Yeah.
We're very exclusive.
It's very exclusive.
Mark has zero interest.
Zero. Do you also hate it when I tell people, whoever's listening, my dreams as well? Do you have zero interest in that as well, Goobs? Yeah. Doesn't care. Not care.
So, as we've said before, we're attending Ink and Engines, and Shane and Nicola, who organise it, were on BBC Radio Norfolk.
Oh!
So yeah, that's really cool.
That is cool.
Getting spreading the good word, so hopefully more people will see us.
I think that's going to be really, really fun. I'm going to try and speak to our little crew and say, get over to Norfolk.
Well, one of them is.
Yeah, obviously Spence is.
Spence and Aaron.
And Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to also say Jake needs to come, Colin needs to come, Sarah needs to come, James needs to come. Because if they can stay and camp and it's a festival type thing,
well,
I reckon they will. So remind me afterwards and I will message them.
Yeah, and we'll obviously put the link for Ink and Engines in the show notes as well.
As always, we will do that. So I've got a list of the 10 most famous ghosts for you today.
Oh.
And this is according to Live Science Online, specifically their conspiracy and paranormal news section, which was very interesting, and I ended up going down loads of rabbit holes. It was very good. And as always, this is verbatim, because I've just copied and pasted it, because that's who I am as a person. So, number one, though ghosts appear in several of Shakespeare's plays, Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. Jokes. I'm really excited. I've finally finished the book that I wasn't enjoying.
Right.
And the next one's The Tempest.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy. I'm getting on to Shakespeare.
That's your reward.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Stardust.
No, after that was The Dispossessed by Ursula Le Guin, which is science fiction, and I'm not into science fiction. There were bits of it I enjoyed, but it was a slog.
Okay, see, I really like science fiction.
This was just, yeah.
Lacking a little bit?
Yeah, it lacked something for me.
Okay.
But yes, I'm very excited, to get on to The Tempest.
So, Macbeth, obviously, and Julius Caesar. King Hamlet, often referred to simply as Ghost, is among the better known of the Bard's ghosts and plays an integral part in Hamlet. His son, Prince Hamlet, may be the central character in the play named after him, but without his father's ghost, there would be no story. So King Hamlet appears 3 times in the play, each time during the night. The ghost tells Hamlet that he was murdered by his treacherous brother, Claudius, and asks Hamlet to avenge his death. The ghost himself says he is on a visit from purgatory, returning to the world of the living in order to right a wrong, that the Catholic position on ghosts... I have no idea. This is verbatim. I don't know what's going on. Wrote Satsky Zamir, philosopher and literary critic, in his book Shakespeare's Hamlet, Philosophical Perspectives.
Oh, interesting.
So that's number 1.
So Hamlet, little fun fact for you if you didn't know, William Shakespeare's son was called Hamnet.
No way. Love that.
And yeah, so it basically used that to shut up.
Goobs just wrote, that was really fun.
You can imagine him saying it. Yeah.
I like that fact, thank you.
He died and then Shakespeare wrote Hamlet.
Oh, interesting. I like that. I found that fun.
Thank you.
As part of the 2-member Pointless Story Club, I liked it.
Absolutely. There's a book by Maggie O'Farrell called Hamlet, and she doesn't explicitly mention Shakespeare's name and stuff, but yeah, it's kind of
alluded to.
Well, yeah, you know it's that. But then it didn't specifically tell us a history or literature lesson. It's just stuff that I like. Hispiskilly. I have no idea what's going on.
Idea. I like it though.
I shouldn't say that. I've lost where I'm going, so I'm just going to give up. Shut up.
Oh, I was enjoying that. Okay, so number 2, this is one for both of us. The Flying Dutchman. So the world's best known non-human ghost is a 17th century merchant ship said to haunt the high seas. According to sea lore, the ship, which often appears as a hazy image or a strange light, is said to be a portent of bad luck and doom. I just think it's cool, actually. The story has been adapted many times, but one of the more common versions tells of a Dutch captain named Van der Decken refusing to take safe harbour during a storm whilst traversing the Cape of Good Hope, despite pleas from the crew and passengers. Instead, the impudent captain challenged God to take them down. The ship was promptly cursed and, in its ghost form, is damned to never find port again.
So Mark's asked, can a physical object be a ghost? Well, it's kind of like it's not residual energy, but it's kind of like that.
Like
an imprint?
Yeah, kind of like a mixture of that, I think. So the ghost ship has been reported on the ocean from time to time, including appearing off the coast of South Africa in 1923. The Flying Dutchman most recently appeared in movie theatres across the country in Pirates of the Caribbean films, captained by Davy Jones. The tale of the doomed Dutch ghost ship stems from a British literary tradition, 18th to 19th centuries, wrote Theo Medder in The Flying Dutchman and other folk tales from the Netherlands, which sounds interesting.
Yeah, send me those details. I'm going to get the books.
Will do. And is likely tied up in the trading company competition between Dutch and British businesses in that era. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I was going to say a fun fact. I'm going to keep it till the end.
Excellent.
Because then I have a random fact.
Yes, perfect.
Which I'll probably forget by the time we get there. So yeah, good question, Goobs. It is fun for us too. So
we are pirates.
And
we've got necklaces that say it. So it must be true.
We do. Did I ever fix yours for you?
No.
Have you still got it?
Yes.
I'll fix it for you because I've got little tools.
Awesome. So. Oh shit! Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I just saw. That's the first time I've done it in ages. I just spat everywhere as well. It's the weather, weather section. I was going to say something. No, I've lost it.
Oh, that's happening a bit today.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe it'll come back to you and you will just blurt it out.
It was something about. Oh, that was it. Do you remember on Facebook? I don't know if you can still do it, but years ago you could turn it. Like, you could change like the language and stuff, and one of them was pirate.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can. It was great fun.
Okay, well, we need to see if that's still a thing.
I think maybe we should learn how to speak pirate and then do an entire episode in pirate.
Oh my God, we should probably learn how to speak English first. Not so much you, more me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He's not editing that.
Maybe we should just put it out there and just be like, you know, did I send you that meme, or I shared a meme where basically half the time I can't be bothered to correct predictive text on my messages. I just let it go and hope that the person works it out. That's what we could do in the pirate episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Love it.
I'm up for that. Don't know if anyone else is, but we are, so, you know.
The pirate special.
Exactly. So number 3 is the Bell Witch, which you will know as well. The events that allegedly happened at John Bell's Tennessee farm between 1817 and 1821 are said to be one of the classic American ghost tales. Bell shot at a strange animal on his farm, but the creature disappeared before it could be harmed. Several weeks later, the Bell family was tormented by a ghost that made terrifying sounds, shook the house, and physically attacked Bell's daughter, Betsy. Love that name.
My old my old RE teacher, her daughter was called Betsy.
It's a lovely name, isn't it? The spectral assaults continued for several years, and at one point Andrew Jackson is said to have dabbled in ghost hunting and did his own investigation. Though some authors recount the Bell Witch tales as a true account, there is little evidence that it is anything other than a ghost story. Jackson, for example, never mentioned the Bell Witch case at all. It seems that the future president's role was created from thin air, possibly to lend the appearance of reality to the fictional tale. From the late 1810s until 1830s, Jackson's every move is fairly well documented, wrote K.L.T. Cobb Jr. in his book, Ghosts and Demons, The Truth of the Bell Witch. That's another one you might like, love.
Well, I did say to Mark that I was going to get rid of some books. Purely because... No, yeah, I'm going to get rid of some.
Okay.
Purely because there's some more that I've found that I want to get.
Okay, so it's going to be like a one in, one out policy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, several in, one out.
If there's ones you've read that like you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll help you do that.
Thank you.
And we can organise them. So this casts further doubt on his involvement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the notes of all the books in this.
Thank you.
Not that I'm encouraging her, but I am, because, you know, I love it.
Just feed him a habit.
Talking about books. So when we went to HMV, I cannot talk again. Seriously. I think maybe I am just morphing into a pirate. Maybe that's what's happening.
It could be.
Maybe I shouldn't fight it any longer.
No, just come in here with an eye patch and Wednesday on your shoulder.
So cute, she's down there being cute. When we went to HMV, I saw that they had all the Friday Night at Freddy's books, and I know that they're aimed at teenagers, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
But I really want to start them and like get the series and read the series. And as far as I'm concerned, because they may be sort of like teen horror type thing, I never agreed to be an adult.
No.
No one asked my permission. Did you get asked?
No, it just happened, and now I'm supposed to be responsible.
Yeah, and we didn't sign up for it. Therefore, I'm perfectly fine to read the Friday Night at Freddy's books.
Yeah.
And I like the cover artwork. And I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I'm an artist.
Yeah, but sometimes that's what draws you to a book. And then you're either pleasantly
You're turning into a pirate too.
Yeah. Pleasantly surprised or really disappointed.
Yeah. So I'm going to get the first one and then see. And then if I like it, I'll continue.
Yeah.
Even though I've got a pile of books I need to read. But I tend to read a few at a time.
You've got a pile of books you need to read. Do you?
Nothing in comparison.
Do you?
I have a few. I think I've got like 4, which is, soz.
Mark was like that with me this morning. I went to Lyra last night and I really hurt. I feel like I've been hit by a bus.
I want to call it Lido. How was it?
Difficult.
Okay.
And there were some moves that I could do before that for some reason I can't do now. And I've hurt my toe this morning. I was like, oh, my toe really hurts. He goes, really? Does your toe hurt?
The king of gammy toes over there.
Yeah. His non-gouty toe.
How is your poorly toe? Can't see what he's doing. You need to type.
Still no gout.
Still no gout. Okay. So at number 4, we have Casper.
Oh.
So while Bloody Mary spends her time in the ghostly realms waiting to be summoned to dark bathrooms so she can scare kids, Casper, who is best known as the friendly ghost, is the white outlined smiling ghost who tries not to scare people. That's the thing. Everyone talks about mean ghosts, but there are good ghosts.
Yeah.
Casper was created by Seymour Wright. Right? And Joe Oralo in the 1930s, later gaining fame in the Harvey comic book series. Oh my God, I want a Casper comic. Casper was often joined by friends such as Wendy the Good Little Witch and Hot Stuff the Little Devil. But the characters were made benign and kid-friendly with the addition of good, friendly and little to their names. Even so, the topic of death in a property aimed at children has...
What?
Property aimed at children has been questioned. Again, this is verbatim, so I can't take any blame for this. Even when Casper enjoyed a revival with a self-titled 1995 film starring Bill Pullman and Christina Ricci, critics questioned how appropriate it was to run moments of comedy and slapstick alongside issues of death and the afterlife.
Well, it makes it more palatable.
Exactly.
For younger people.
Exactly.
And also...
it shouldn't be completely avoided because it happens.
Like when I first watched Casper and he turned into the human boy, how much did you fancy him?
Oh my God.
He was beautiful.
Wasn't that Devon Sawyer?
Yes.
Who was in Final Destination?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had crushes on him. He was gorgeous. I think, yeah, look how pretty he was.
No.
He still is, probably.
At that time, it was age appropriate. Thank you very much.
When was that?
95.
95. So, I mean, we were young.
I didn't see it in 95. I was only... When in 95 did it come out?
I don't know.
I would have been on my way to 6 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, he did age well.
So that was written by Zachary Graves in Ghosts, The Complete Guide to the Supernatural.
Oh, a fitting name. I wonder if that's his real surname.
I don't know. I'm like, oh yeah, Zachary Graves, and it's probably not. If it is, that's pretty amazing. But I like the fact that Casper was included, and everyone knows who Casper is, and I'm going to sort of sound like Allie now, but I think it's good to associate death with positivity, and because everyone has to face it. There's no point sticking your head in the sand, so...
Death and taxes, my friends.
That's it, exactly. So I don't agree with Zachary Graves, even though he's got a cool name. So then at number 5, Bloody Mary, and I'm not saying it a third time.
Well, there's no mirror, you're fine.
No, I know, but still, knowing my luck, she'll come out the wall, or the floor, or that medicine cabinet. With those words, many school children had their first experience with a ghost. According to folklore, Bloody Mary is a ghost of a woman who murdered her children long ago. I didn't know that.
I think there's several background stories, as there always is.
Yeah, many origin stories. If you want to see her, go into the bathroom, usually at school, turn the lights off, stand in front of a mirror and repeat her name 3 times. I would not recommend this, just in case.
I did it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did anything happen?
No.
that you know of.
Well, my family's lived a pretty cursed life, so maybe.
The game, Summoning Bloody Mary, is particularly associated with teenagers. 3 functions of the ritual are identified: to actively challenge and conquer fears, to allow opportunities to increase peer group status, and to develop a mechanism for coping with the supernatural, wrote Gail DeVos in What Happens Next, Contemporary Urban Legends and Popular Culture. That sounds like a really good book.
Yeah, that does.
I'd read that too. Many either stare at their scared reflection in the dark mirror or lose their nerve after saying the second Bloody Mary and run from the bathroom. That would be me. Numerous students related their experiences, both positive and negative, with great glee, while others hid their heads in terror at the very thought of calling her. An updated version of the Bloody Mary legend was made into a horror film series, Candyman, which was recently remade in 2021. It wasn't really remade, though, because it was a move on from it.
Yeah,
So
I haven't seen it yet.
It's okay. It's good. It's good. But in comparison to the first one, the first one's so scary, I think, that...
I watched that quite young.
Yeah. Well, the girl in it is called Helen.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know.
Mark said that she's annoyed too. Who is similarly summoned by repeating his name 3 times.
It's funny because I was going to say something about the Candyman film. Can you look on Google and see when the first Candyman was actually out? Because I bet that was an alarmingly long time ago.
I think it was the 90s.
Yeah, it must have been late 90s, right? Oh, 92? Oh, gosh.
See,
that was frightening.
the 90s had the best films, including
Absolutely.
horror,
pop culture, best music, despite what he
Fashion.
says. Fashion. Mobile phones weren't really around until sort of the end. And then you could just use them for phone calls and texts.
Oh, the simpler
The
times.
snake. I want to go back to then. That's what I think we should vote for, a return to the 90s. Maybe we should start a political party that returns everything to the 90s and rescues
Apart from
animals.
politics, because what wasn't that Blair?
Yeah,
And he ruined everything. He
but
turned...
we will be in charge of the politics.
Yeah.
So everything back to the 90s apart from political nonsense, because, I think maybe that should be our party that we start.
Let's do it.
Or we'll market it as a political party, but actually it'll be a cult. We've wanted to start a cult for a really long time. So.
I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here first.
Yeah, people.
Yep. So then at number 6, I feel like you will find this interesting and or probably already know about it. The Ghost of Drury Lane. There are many theatres in the Covent Garden district in London's West End, and plays have been produced in that area for over 300 years, and some of the world's greatest actors have appeared there. Yet one theatre is better known more for its ghost than its productions. There is actually more than one ghost said to haunt Drury Lane's halls and wings, including those of several actors. The most famous, however, is a man in grey, seen as a nobleman carrying a sword. It's not uncommon for a theatre to claim a resident ghost treading the boards, and the Drury Lane ghosts carry on their path of theatre tradition.
See, it's either a man in grey, a man in white, a lady in white, a lady in grey, and things like that. But obviously, if the traditional notion of a ghost is to be believed, like the whole white, grey, misty kind of thing, it's hard to be anything else, is it not?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, if anywhere was going to be haunted, think of the amount of energy that's in a theatre from the audience, from the actors. So I would imagine that there'd be quite a lot of, residual hauntings as well as in...
So Mark said there's science and biology behind why ghosts are monotone. How do you know that?
Yeah, how do we not know that?
Photoreceptors in the eye. Oh, well, to be fair, oh no, that's everything. Everything's upside down, isn't it? It switches in your eye.
That's the thing. Peripheral vision is
Black and white. Is it? Oh,
he's so knowledgeable.
I was going to say, you know something about the paranormal that he doesn't believe in. But then that he likes the science behind it also. Yeah. Okay.
So everyone in the theatre had some kind of experience. They think they saw the man in grey, or they heard a door slam when there was no one in the building. Roger Clark, who's a professional ghost hunter, took those stories more seriously than the ghosts. So he did think the building had something going on, although it was difficult to say what, said actor Nigel Planner to journalist Andrew Dixon, writing for The Guardian in 2015. So, yeah. This one we have spoken about quite a few times. This is at number 7, The Vanishing Hitchhiker.
Oh.
And this has so many different versions.
There's one in every county, every town, every country.
Different origin stories. Sometimes it's the girl, sometimes it's the boy. A classic example of modern folklore, often associated with the United States, but with parallel tales elsewhere in the world. The vanishing hitchhiker is often depicted standing by the roadside and disappearing without a trace, not long after being picked up. See, that's the version I've heard quite a lot, is that they get in, but then they disappear. One classic version points to the hitchhiker being the ghost of a local resident killed not far from their home, but it has likely changed over the decades.
Yeah, we've got like girls on prom night, wedding night, all of that lot.
Yeah, there's so many variations of it. It acquired the newer automobile motif by the period of the Great Depression, and thereafter spawned a number of subtypes with greatly varied and oddly interlocking details, some of which themselves stem from earlier folk legends, wrote Jane Harold Brunvand in The Vanishing Hitchhiker, American Urban Legends and Their Meanings. That's another good book. Sometimes the hitchhiker is imbued with the power of prophecy or is on an endless quest, not unlike the crew of the Flying Dutchman. Well, I suppose that makes sense, because if they were on their way somewhere, then they're trying to continuously get home, aren't they? Updated and localised treatments of the legend continue to flourish in modern folklore, suggesting that the old ghost tale must have some important appeal to contemporary folk, wrote Brunvand. Yeah, I think it's sort of gone through the decades, hasn't it? And like you say, the kind of oranges, the oranges of it change.
This is the first episode.
Oh my God, there's no hope. Okay, so at number 8, do you want to take a guess at what you think this might be?
No.
Okay. It's the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Oh!
Yes. So in Charles Dickens' famous novel, A Christmas Carol, cold-hearted Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge has a change of heart after being visited by several ghosts representing different eras of his life's Christmases, past, present and yet to come. Do you know what? Talking about Christmas, even near Christmas, gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm just not a fan.
It's really stressful.
It's very stressful. Ghosts are often associated with life lessons and morality tales, and these spooks are no exception. The Ghost of Christmas Past sets Scrooge out on the road to rehabilitation by showing him visions of his past Christmases. Dickens is credited with helping to establish the concept of a Christmas spirit, and may have been drawing on his own past and feelings about children and Christmas for this character. Dickens had warm memories of his own childhood Christmases, and now the father of a young family, made the annual event a merry holiday. Feasting, games and domestic dramas were the order of the 12 days of Christmas.
Shame he turned out to be an towards his family, really.
In the 1840s Dickens household. Did he actually? Wrote John Sutherland, Professor of Modern English Literature at University College London for the British Library in 2014. Do you know him?
Don't know where.
John Sutherland.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
Ow.
So yeah. So he wasn't very nice to his family?
No.
Oh. Boo you.
Yes.
Dickens.
And then he had a thing with someone else as well.
Oh.
Yeah. He wasn't an overly nice man in the end. Literature genius.
Yeah.
Literary genius. But I do love his books. I am a massive fan of the Dickens.
Didn't I, for my birthday sleepover, didn't I give everyone Dickens ghost story books?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then when we went to Hay,
yeah,
and I went, Tom.
sorry, Goobs writes us notes on the screen, and sometimes he does little jokes, and they're funny.
Sometimes.
Most of the time, they're funny, or taking the mickey out of us.
Yeah, I remember going into one of the bookshops. So Hay on Wye in Wales is known as the book town. And walked in and there was like this huge section of Dickens. I was just like, Dickens!
That was really fun. I loved, wasn't there like a gothic bookshop or like
a crime one?
crime
yeah.
one? That's it, yeah. It's a really lovely place.
That had like a real kind of weird gothy bit as well.
I'd like
the
to go there in the
supernatural
summer.
Stuff. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
So at number 9, I haven't heard of this one. We have The Murdered Peddler. Have you heard of him, her, them?
No.
One day in the early 1840s in Hydesville, New York, a young peddler arrived at the home of a Mr. and Mrs. Bell to sell his housewares. He was invited into the home by the Bells' housekeeper and in fact stayed for some days. He must have had a lot of Tupperware. And Summers
Still find
items.
Can you imagine I still find the concept of having a Tupperware party bonkers.
I remember my mum having a Tupperware
Oh, she didn't, did she?
Yeah.
So look at these clear boxes.
Have some wine. That's what it was really all about, was
Yeah.
wine and cheese and pineapple.
At least with he'd rather, Mark would like that rather than an Anne Summers party. At least with an Anne Summers party, there's like games.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of it's cringy. I used to be a rep.
What?
Yeah, I was an Anne Summers rep.
How the hell did I not know this about you? Did you know this? Goose?
Yeah.
You can play games. You can play games on top. You can wear them as hats. You can throw stuff in them.
I just don't feel like it would.
Tallest tower.
It's just, no.
Perhaps it'd be somewhat clutching at straws.
Yeah. How hard you can throw them at Allie. Oi!
I can't believe you used to be an Anne Summers rep.
Yeah.
How long for and when? You can't just skirt over this information.
I was working in the prison as a civvy at the time. So
Right.
before I was even in black and white. And then, so a very long time ago. When did I start that job?
I have no concept of time.
No, 2011? Pink Limpies. What's Limpy?
He was doing an action. I could just about see it, waving his hand around.
For anyone who's watching, he did this. Oh, I can't. My wrist hurts from Lyra.
Do that. Yeah, she hurt it doing Lido. So, sorry, how long were you an Anne Summers rep
Oh
for?
gosh, can you please get dildos off this?
Oh, that's so gross.
That's a pink limpy. What's the point of it being limp?
Well, you should know you were an Anne Summers rep.
I never I never sold anything limp. T-shirt cannon. What? I'm so confused.
Yeah, so am I.
Anyway,
How long were you at Anne Summers party girl for?
oh god, it was less than a year.
I mean, that's pretty good going.
I did a couple of parties. Yeah, I hosted a few. It must have been
I can't imagine you doing that because it means you have to talk to a lot of people.
2010.
You don't like very many people.
No. Oh, to be fair, I knew the people
Right.
who were having the party, so that was all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by the time you've exhausted the people you knew, you're like, oh, stuff this.
Pretty much.
I don't want to sell
It
pink
was a bit
limpies to
cringy.
strangers.
Yeah, it was quite cringy. I don't know why I did it. I just wanted some extra money.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Keeps things interesting, doesn't it? That could have been your random fact.
Sugar honey iced tea. I've got another one.
So you need to remember all things like that because you don't think that they're random and or interesting, but they really are.
The fact I used to be an Anne Summers rep.
Yes.
For not very long.
Yeah, and you just sold pink limpies to friends and then moved on quickly.
I will say this, there was a really nice lube flavour.
Right.
And I used to just eat it.
Was it vegan?
I wasn't a vegan at that point. Was it like champagne and strawberries or something. It was something like that, but it tasted really nice, so I just eat it out the bottle.
Okay, fair enough.
Fancy something sweet.
That's
just rub it on my gums.
It's like the Ann Summers version of crack. Or speed or cocaine.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's gone off piece, doesn't it? It's rather enjoyable.
I hope my mum's not listening to this.
She doesn't listen.
No, she doesn't.
No, because I told her, I said to her that we talked about her crazy thug rabbit. And she was like, oh, did you? So,
see, the fact that you just mentioned a crazy thug rabbit in the same, like, sentence as Ann Summers makes it sound really dodgy
it's
now.
Not. If you listen to the...
It's an actual rabbit.
It's an actual rabbit that's crazy. Ew, what pigs of what? For God's sake. Right,
Right, no more dildos on the screen, please.
They're a much better design to look at than the pink limpy, though.
Yeah, I mean, that I would just hit people with because it'd be funny.
It would be really funny to hit people over the head with a pink limpy.
Just get out of a social situation, pull out your bag and start hitting people.
You know that meme that I've probably sent you, where it says if you want to get out of a conversation,
take your sock off
and give it to the person. Just take a limp pinky out your pink limpy out of your pocket. Just hand it to the person and don't break eye contact with them, and don't totally deadpan. And then also
get loads of mini pink limpies now. Just fucking give them to people.
You know, I sent you that. I keep talking about memes, but they sent you that thing on Instagram about the girl gang from way back in the day in like the 20s, who were like this badass girl gang. We could start a girl gang and just, that could be our weapon of choice. Just hit people with a pink limpy. Because I'd be so shocked they won't know what to do.
That's the thing, you wouldn't even need to use proper violence.
No,
minimal.
just wave it at them.
Minimal. I love how we never know where these conversations are going to go.
He started that.
Mark's weapon of choice would be a dildo. It's dildo on the end of a drill.
Yeah. Is that a thing? Is that an official thing?
He's making one.
Okay.
He needs to patent it.
That's a good
patent
name.
it. Patent.
Good name for a band.
What, dildo?
Drildo. Pink Drildo. Or Pink Limpy.
Drildo and the Pink Limpies. Or Pink Limpy.
Why do Pink Limpies go in a t-shirt cannon? Oh, okay. Okay, so that can be instead of a bazooka, we take a t-shirt cannon and fire Pink Limpies at people.
Again, you know,
still money.
Minimal violence, maximum effect.
Yes, and we will just say it's part of our religion, so that we can't
our political party.
Yes, we've come up with a great idea. Seriously, why they don't put us in charge, I don't know. And we can have a pink tank that fires Pink Limpies at people.
And you can paint it like a giant limpy with confetti.
Oh my God, this is like the dream.
We're going to have to put B-roll on this episode just so we can get all these images in.
Yeah, just because. Right.
No, Helen will draw
I'll draw the dildos. So, I'm
just going to be thinking about Pink Limpies all day.
I'm just thinking about trying to put this gang together.
I'll make cookies.
Okay, Pink Limpy shaped cookies. Yeah. Okay. And he'll bring the dillies. Amazing. Right. Anyway, the maid was shortly dismissed from service but abruptly rehired a week later.
What ghost is this again, sorry?
The Murdered Peddler.
Oh. Wait, what's the maid got to do with it?
So just to backtrack, he was invited into the home by the Bell's housekeeper and in fact stayed for some days. Maybe she liked him. So she invited him in and just let him stay. Then she was dismissed. Then
Suitcase full of dillies.
Yeah, possibly.
The original Ann Summers rep.
This story doesn't make any sense, but it's probably because we interjected it with talk of Pink Limpies and Summers parties and girl gangs and Dildos. So anyway, the peddler was gone, but many of his items were now in use in the Bell's kitchen.
Yeah, I bet they were.
The maid thought little of it until she began experiencing strange ghostly phenomenon, only to find out from the peddler's ghost that he had in fact been murdered in her absence. What the hell is going on in this story? None of this makes any sense. Whereas everything we just spoke about made complete sense.
Definitely, complete sense.
At least that was the story told by two sisters named Maggie and Katie Fox. Who were they? I don't know her.
Where did that come from?
Who claimed to communicate with the ghost. Years later, the sisters admitted it had all been a hoax. There was no murdered peddler, and the spirit communications had been faked.
So who was the person that came in their house then?
Who was that man? And where did he go? And did he shack up with the maid? That sounds like what's happened, actually. Still, the sisters had inadvertently founded a religion called spiritualism. I don't think that's where that started.
Oh, are these the two that start the seances and then they got found to be lying?
Oh, sounds like it. Sounds like it. The murdered peddler is the only fake ghost whose presence started a real religion. When spiritualism began with its murdered peddler and its poltergeists, it had fed on an older fascination with occult powers. Amen. But spiritualism, as shaped by and in response to the Fox sisters, has emerged as something sunnier, more democratic, wrote Barbara Weisberg in Talking to the Dead, Kate and Maggie Fox and the Rise of Spiritualism. It's another good book, possibly.
The Cult of Pink Limpies.
Yeah.
They look like marshmallows to me.
Yeah, they do. What? This has gone awry today, hasn't it? I keep looking at the screen. We want to see them again. Yeah, go on, put them up there. So one gathered in a group of friends or hired a large hall to welcome the immortal beings, while benign spirit guides weren't necessarily unknown in other parts of the world. They descended like uninvited but cheery guests on a 19th century Christian America. And there's a... It does look like a...
It looks like a marshmallow.
It looks like a jelly tree. Your browser history is F now, bro. Oh no. Our Cars account browser history. Well, that's, I mean, if anyone finds that, we're toast anyway, because there's like FBI files and all sorts being looked for on there. So, I've totally forgotten what we're talking about, to be perfectly honest.
Let's just skip that one because...
Well, that was the end of that one, anyway.
Oh, okay. So we should be on number 9 or 10 now?
Wait, that was number 9. So at number 10, do you want to take any guesses at who number 10 might be? Very big in popular culture. What do you mean, no? Guess.
I don't like guessing.
Okay, well, it's Slimer.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that. That's why I said no.
Okay. Could have just guessed something. The ghost of the pink limpy, maybe. Slimer is the grotesque green ghost featured in Ghostbuster films and cartoons.
I feel like, you could get a Slimer limpy.
Or a Slimer lube. Maybe they could do a Ghostbusters.
Look like ectoplasm.
This is really gone. There's no way of telling where these are going to go. We're crazy.
Mental. Poor Felix.
Poor Felix.
Is anyone mourn Felix?
Oh my God!
What?
There's a dildo that looks like Slimer.
Where? Oh!
There! Orc
I
silicone
thought it was just
dildo.
an ornament.
Created by Creature Cox. It's called the Orc, O-R-C, if you want to look it up and ruin your browser history.
An orc is from Lord of the Rings. It's like a giant ogre type thing.
Oh, I just figured it was Slimer.
It's not actually Slimer. Slimer.
It's actually from the Lord of the Rings.
But I now need to look on that website and see who else they've got and possibly... Oh my God.
Wow.
You wouldn't want that in you.
Well, I mean, it depends how sort of into Lord of the Rings you are.
I feel there's other things you could do.
It's 5.4 inches. Should we have put some sort of warning on the front
True.
of this?
Oh, yeah.
Because, there's always a...
Sexual content.
Yeah. There's not normally sexual content, but today it seems to be a bit
Yeah, we're
rampant.
quite prudish, actually, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, my God. There's so many. Right, sorry,
Oh,
this is
it's identical.
diverted. So we're now looking at the Creature Cock website, and there's all kinds of things on there. Moon Rider.
Squirmer thrusting. Right, no. Ugh. That looks like a green turd.
It's very inventive.
No prices.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to be quite a lot of money. Shop. Sorry, we've been completely distracted.
They're not that expensive. Oh.
What is that?
What? Oh, that's...
Hades silicone dildo looks a little bit frightening and dirty, actually. Gosh, wow.
Oh.
There's one called a night prowler with a girth enhancer.
Oh.
Anyway.
Can we not?
Okay, so back to it. Slimer is characterised by his bright green appearance, as was the orc dildo back there, obnoxious and slovenly behaviour, and his ability to spew slime. I'm so sorry. Slimer proved to be so popular with kids that he got a starring role in the spin-off cartoon series, The Real Ghostbusters. A reformed evil ghost that joined the Ghostbusters team, Slimer's voracious appetite and guttural burps made him amongst the most memorable cartoon ghosts. Originally referred to as Onion Head. Where's that come from? In the production of the original movie, Slimer was likened to an actor known well by the film's writers and stars Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. Ivan Reitman, the director, remarked that the character was sort of like Bluto in Animal House. Like the ghost of John Belushi in a way. Danny, who was obviously a good friend of John's, never argued with that. Even so, we never officially said that, and we never mentioned it in the script. It was just one way to look at the character, because Onion Head's grossness is like Bluto's in Animal House. Said Joe Medjuk, producer of Ghostbusters, in Making Ghostbusters, New York Zoetrope 1985, edited by John Shea. That's it for the top 10 ghosts. I would have put Slimer higher, actually.
Yeah.
I think. But then, I don't know, I probably would have put Flying Dutchman at number 1 just because that is most interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, it's subjective, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know how long this spooky chat's going to be because I've got, next up I've got top 10 conspiracy theories for you.
I mean, we could always move them into another spooky chat.
Could do.
Because I feel like this
All right,
one
then.
has...
Well, okay, there's not... We'll have to bump that one up then. All right, well, so for today we're going to call it a day because we went off on one about Ann Summers,
Pink limpies.
Dildos,
and creature cocks.
and Tupperware.
Tupperware.
I don't know what the title of this spooky chat is going to be.
Not in that order.
But I've got to illustrate the little thing for it, so that'll be fun.
Just a pink limpy. Without googly eyes.
She's made a home in a little Tupperware container.
I apologise to anyone who's listening and or watching.
I don't. It's just how we are, what we are, who we are as people, and side effects.
Yeah, side effects.
Well, I'm hoping I've got like a random fact and all that thing at the end. Actually, the conspiracy theory is quite long. I don't know when I wrote this. It was
Let's have a 2-hour spooky chat.
Yeah. Do you have a get in your pocket, get in the bin?
Get in the bin. Turkey teeth.
Oh my God, yeah.
They just look so unnatural.
Right.
They're scary. They make people, in my opinion, look like aliens.
Yes. So as I've spoken about before, I am on 2 dating apps. One is Bumble, one is Hinge. And some people on there have turkey teeth.
It is just so unnatural. And the fact that you're natural teeth are ground down to nubbins.
Yeah, they look like little fangs.
Like, can you imagine if, I don't know, your turkey teeth went awry and you can add them and for a little while, and then you're just left with your weird...
So they do have a shelf life, as it were. So after a certain amount of time, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, they have to be replaced. So if you can't afford to replace them...
You are screwed.
Or if the apocalypse comes and no one can replace them, there's just going to be all these freaky people running around with fang teeth.
I go up to them if they're talking, just put my hand over their mouth.
Just hit them with a pink limpy.
No! You
Stop
close your
that.
mouth.
Close your mouth when you're talking to me.
Don't get me wrong, I'm all for enhancement.
Oh, God, me too.
You know, I think there are limits that one should adhere to. I don't plan on ageing that gracefully.
No, neither do I.
But I'm not going to, get turkey teeth.
No. I think veneers can look odd.
Yeah.
I think it's better.
It's like they painted their teeth in Tipp-Ex.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, depending on where you go, I think sometimes the teeth can be out of proportion to the mouth.
Yeah.
Whereas if you work with the teeth you've already got, then, they're kind of made for your head. So,
Yeah. They're bespoke.
They were made for you.
Yeah, no, I'm...
Yeah.
No to turkey teeth.
Do you have a get in your pocket?
Ooh. Lyra. It really hurts.
Lido.
Yes, Lido. And even though I am so bruised and I ache
And you did
it's
it
hard.
with a gammy bitten in half leg this time as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, exactly. It was halfway falling off.
I don't exaggerate at all.
Yeah, but no, it's good. I feel like I work and I am building up some more strength, which is great.
Love that for you.
Yeah. And my random fact, along the same lines as Anne Summers, I used to be a body shop rep.
How did I not know any of this stuff?
You did?
I didn't.
Oh. Well, yeah, I used to be a body shop rep.
When was this?
Not that long ago.
Were you with Mark when you were doing
Yeah.
that? Oh, okay.
That was within the last few years, before body shop kind of ceased to be that much of a thing. Didn't they shut a load of shops or something?
I think everyone's shot a load of shops.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember, but yeah.
Did you do body shop parties?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Not that many. It was usually more of a, I'm going to put an order in. What do you guys want?
Right, okay.
Yeah. I didn't really like to do the
social things.
Yeah. There was a lot of it was in lockdown. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my get in the bin is just trying to... I don't know if this was mine last week, but did I say dating apps last week? Was that my get in the bin last week? Anyway,
quite possibly.
It can be my get in the bin again because I literally... All I want to do is marry Noel Gallagher.
Then come off the dating apps.
Well, I don't go on them very much. I'm just, my presence is on there, but I don't really look at them.
But if you're going to marry Noel Gallagher, then what's the point?
Yeah. Okay, I'll probably...
And the thing is, what's going to make this worse is that you are a sought-after woman. You've got a lot of male fans from, Goblin and stuff like that.
Well, not anymore, though.
But you've been talking about dildos today. The comments on these videos is going to be insane.
Yeah. Keep it clean, folks. Or at least... Well, actually, no, don't worry.
Just don't say anything. Or unless you're going to be funny.
Yeah, funny is always welcome.
Don't be creepy.
Get in my pocket is... do you know what I've done? My notes on this, I did them for last week, so my get in the bins and pockets are the same as last week.
Well, you can't do that.
So get in my pocket is...
Look at me, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. My new hair colour, because it is a subtle change, but it is a change.
Do we want to mention the bangs as well?
Oh, yeah, and I cut a fringe. I was so disgusted with my own face from one of these podcast videos. I was literally like, oh.
She's requested the cameras be higher up. She's cutting a fringe.
I've got to
so I
do
can't
something.
go with my ageing jowls.
No, I did. And the position the cameras were at, we're just enhancing it. And I was like, surely it's what I actually look like.
I'm just embracing my double chin now.
You don't have a double chin. It was the
You
angle
are
of the camera.
lying.
The camera was just too face on and was just focused on. Ugh. So now they're pointing down. So it probably makes my nose look bigger.
I'm just going to continue looking at you in disgust.
Okay. And my random fact is that I would really like to say that I loved unicorns before they became like a massive thing everywhere. I used to have an imaginary friend when I was younger that was a unicorn. And one of my first teddies was a unicorn that was named after Uni, which was from Dungeons and Dragons. And I strongly believe that one of my guardian angels is a unicorn called Bee. So that's my collective random fact about unicorns.
Love it.
Okay.
Did you know that the national animal for Scotland is a unicorn?
Yes, because it's on the crest. That's the international sign for crest. The crest.
The crest.
So Goob's bin is decision making.
Oh, we are all terrible at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything specifically this week, or just that as a general consensus?
Decision making.
Just decision making. Just generally. Okay. His pocket is barbecue season.
Absolutely.
We had a cracking barbecue last week, didn't we?
Yeah, and we're having one mid-recording sessions.
Absolutely, because we're doing 4 reps today. We're going to do 2, have a break, eat some food, come back, do 2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then his random fact was that he was once gifted an inflatable sheep called Dolly.
Wasn't Dolly the name of the sheep that got cloned?
Yes, it was, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What happened to Dolly?
I was going to say, do you still have said inflatable sheep?
It never came out of the box.
Okay.
Oh, poor Dolly.
All right then. So if you've managed to make it through that, well done.
Yeah, so I applaud thee.
Listen to us on. Oh wait, I'm going to backtrack a bit. Linktree / that looks sexual-ish.
They used to sell things like that at Ann Summers.
Oh, okay. Did you ever sell any at the parties?
No.
Okay.
It had a hole.
Ew.
Oh.
Who
So hang on.
Who bought you that?
I know it's not a real animal, but it's basically bestiality.
Yeah.
I'm glad you never took it out of the box.
Yeah. Oh, Bubba.
Oh.
Wednesday's just reverse sneezing. It sounds a lot more alarming than it actually is. Right, okay, so Linktree / Cards on Macabre for all of our socials, listening, watching, merch, email, get in touch with stories, spooky stories, true crime stories.
Thank you very much, Park Lane Studios, for all of the production, editing, lighting.
And for moving the camera and for making us aware of pink limpies.
Yes. That's something I'm never going to forget.
No, neither will the poor listeners. And make sure you like, subscribe, download, hit the bell to get notifications for when new episodes come out. Share, comment, and...
You said download, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
So I think that's it. Thank you very much if you managed to make it through this. And
I need to step out of the room for a little bit.
Yeah, we're not sorry because this is just who we are as a collective. So until next time, stay spooky, bitches.